And we will be going live in 5, 4, 3, 2. We're live.
Good morning, Owasso. This is the Twins with Owasso Live, and this is the Morning Loop. It's actually 8:01, just a minute late today. Had some issues with my car this morning, so just running a little bit behind, so apologize for that. It is about 44 degrees out right now. It was chilly this morning, like a chilly 36, 38 this morning when I got out. And I was like, whew, this is not fun at all. I want that 70, 60 degree weather coming out and being able to run in shorts and just a t-shirt. I mean, you can still run in shorts and a t-shirt. It's just not going to be nice running in shorts and a t-shirt in the morning. So, with that being said, traffic conditions going into Tulsa right now are pretty fair. It was not fair at 7:30, but it is pretty decent now. So if you haven't left your house to commute into Tulsa, it looks like it's going to be a pretty decent commute for you. So enjoy your trip in, drive safe. Now, upcoming events for Owasso this week. What do we got going on there?
I will pull that up real quick. What we have on, let's see here, on the Owasso Chamber of Commerce. We've got quite the busy week this week. On the 23rd, I am showing Leadership Owasso and Owasso's Day at the Capitol at the Capitol. So I'm not sure what that is. I'm checking on that one right now. Leadership Owasso is a course for, training people. Let's see, Oklahoma State Capitol. Okay, Tuesday, Supreme Court. So I guess they're visiting the
Capitol.
the Capitol.
We're driving down to go to Oklahoma
And
City.
it's at Oklahoma State Capitol, and it's at Oklahoma City, and they'll be visiting the second floor Supreme Court Hall. So that's what they're up to. Admission is $25. So if anybody wants to check that out, that sounds like that would be an interesting event. The next, on the 24th, pastries and perks, a ribbon cutting for Anytime Fitness Owasso, and then another ribbon cutting for Eagle Window Tent.
Okay.
So a tent place, and then Owasso Economic Luncheon on the 25th, and then Jimmy's Egg ribbon cutting, that new one over there that's took over the, I guess was S&B's Burger Bar.
Yep.
So, and that's all there is on the chamber this week. Let me go over to Owassoisms. We have a Shrinky Dinks Create a Fun Design, and that is for at the Owasso Library at 4 p.m. to 5 p.m. on the 22nd, which is today.
Interesting.
So, making Shrinky Dinks. I'm not exactly sure what that is, but sounds interesting.
Yeah.
The art thing is still going on at the
Yeah, that
Owasso
should be
High
going
School.
on for the rest of this week as well.
It is. And that is, pretty much all week next week. Then let's see, on the 25th, St. Henry's Community Meal. So the Catholic Church will be doing sounds like a food service for, families and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Project Hope, 5K for the Owasso Heart Healthy Trail. World Project Orphan Run. So it's an orphan run.
Okay.
On the 27th, and that's at 9:15. Let me see where this is at. So the Healthy Heart Trail, 5K Owasso. Let's see where it is exactly. Worldwide Fun Run. I guess it is just the Owasso Heart Healthy Trail. I guess there's a trail. I don't know any of the trails names in Owasso.
Yeah. I don't either.
Veterans of Foreign Wars is hosting an inaugural golf tournament on the 29th. And that's at the Owasso Golf, an athletic club. And I think we're getting off into the weeds here, going off into the next week.
Yeah.
Then the last thing in April is Bunko for a Cause again on the 30th. And that's about it.
Bunko for a cause.
That is really all I have on the events going on in Owasso this week. So we can get on to whatever you're needing to talk about.
Well, actually, while we're speaking on the subject of Owasso and grand openings for restaurants like Jimmy's Egg, how do I approach this? Owasso, we have some pretty great restaurants. Like S&B's was a really good restaurant. Black Bear Diner was a really good restaurant. We have some pretty great places here in Owasso, but you know what kills it? Like they have good food, but bad service kills restaurants, man. I don't know who's managing these places. I don't know how they go about their hiring processes, but bad customer service, like S&B's was good. Like it was a good burger place. Like I think it's better than Schmitty's Burger Bar. Don't get me wrong, Schmitty's Burger Bar is good, but I thought S&B's, the quality of their food was a little better. But the service over there was so bad. You know, and I don't want to bash talk the kids that work there, and I don't want to bad talk the ownership and management. I know it's tough. You're operating on very small profit margins, but bad customer service kills the industry. Kills it. Like, I'm sitting there at S&B's Burger Bar. I'd go there with friends all the time. But we'd be sitting there, and we would never get our drinks refilled. We would be waiting 30, 40 minutes for our food to come out. Like I said, and we wouldn't be bothered by the fact, we were talking about this with my best buddy. It's like, I wouldn't be bothered so much if my food took longer to come out if they were, you know, better at being like, oh, hey, sorry, the kitchen's kind of backed up right now, or we had a problem with the fryer. But no, they just ignore the problem. They come by, they hand you your initial drinks, then you never see them again. That's why I've kind of gotten into the habit every time I go to a restaurant, I order 2 drinks. I'm like, I would like a soda pop and a water, please. Not because I actually want both of those drinks. I just want 2 drinks because I'm afraid they'll never come back. I'll never see them again.
Yeah, it's true. I said, I don't think we've ever really recovered after COVID lockdown. I said, I really noticed a downturn in customer service after the COVID lockdowns, and we've never recovered. Like, everyone just kind of got lazy from being at home. Just like, why do I need to try?
Yeah. It's just interesting because it is truly customer service that kills restaurants. Bad customer service kills your restaurant. And it doesn't take much. I mean, why do you think people, like, you were telling me about the study that they did between McDonald's and Chick-fil-A, where McDonald's service is actually faster, but Chick-fil-A's customer service is better.
And people were saying that they would rather wait in a longer line at Chick-fil-A because they say, they say, thank you, my pleasure. They have the whole customer service. We're like, would you like anything else with that? Whereas McDonald's, sometimes you get there and it's, what you want?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And they're in and out. It's like trying to get you in and out as fast as possible.
Yeah. So let this be a warning to all restaurants opening up in Owasso. It's your customer service is going to make or break your restaurant. Now, at the end of the day, you have to have a good quality product to hand over to your customers. But if you're dealing with crappy people, it's not like that Seinfeld skit, the No Soup for You, where your product is so good, people will tolerate bad customer service just to get your product. I mean, you don't have that anymore. And that was just kind of it was a joke sketch anyway. It's like, the soup's that good, we have to, you'll tolerate them yelling and screaming at you as you pay them to be yelled at.
Mm-hmm.
But
maybe we should just try open up one of those restaurants in Owasso here that's where they yell at you and berate you the whole time. I forget what those are called, so I'll have to look them up. I know there's a couple of different ones. I mean, that'll inspire people to start getting out there and being good servers again. Like, if I can be mean to the customers.
Yeah. You know what'd be good is if we opened up like a comedy club / restaurant style thing where, because, you have all the servers be up and coming comics trying to, be insult comics like Don Rickles. But that's where you're kind of at right now with Owasso. Like, some great restaurants have literally come through here and disappeared because of the poor customer service. And that's what's going to happen is a lot of these other restaurants, like these big chain places coming in, are going to survive, not because they have great customer service, but because they have the financial fortitude to weather having bad customer service, bad employees. Small place like this, we actually went to a place here the other day on Saturday. I'm not going to say what it was, but it was a burger place, and we had pretty lackluster customer service, at least from one of the people there. And I would just say, like, my buddy was ready to lose his mind. He goes, wow, this is just like, I mean, I feel like I'm an idiot ordering food here. Like, you are going to lose. And I'm all for small businesses coming up, and like, places like Baja Jacks. It's awesome that Baja Jacks actually had a spot in TU for a little bit, but I imagine they just had a hard time keeping good employees staying within the parameters of TU's structured business hours in the ACAC is what we called it, or the I don't know what you call it now. There's a different word for it, but
it's just the student activity center,
where
whatever.
the restaurant was. But they had a really strict hours thing going on over there. So I'm always happy to see small business, but like I said, if you have bad customer service and you're a small business in particular, you ain't gonna make it. Because it's too much. It's too much for people to want to not care about. And again, customer service is everything in every industry, to be honest with you. In every industry. I mean, it's not like unless you're selling away an iPhone and people are just like, they don't care how crappy you are, how crappy you treat them, how many people they got to fight in line to get an iPhone. If your product's not that, customer service is going to be everything. So make sure if you're a local business person, like you're somebody like opening up Jimmy's Egg or something, you better make sure you hire good, morally upstanding employees who are going to treat the customers right and are not going to leave them hanging. So, again, I don't want to see good restaurants here in Owasso disappear because we're hiring bad customer service folks, and it's going to come back and bite you. It will. And, I know it's Owasso. You're going to be hiring primarily high school kids. But, I mean, those high school kids working over at Chick-fil-A, they do a darn good job, and they're happy as heck to be there.
It's also, I blame part of it on, like, kind of the minimum wage issue that we have, is no one realizes if you have a really good server, I would prefer to pay that server more money. Now granted, that works with tips in the tipping situation, but I think a manager should have more of an incentive to pay them more. This is my best server. And could you imagine if you were able to pay a server less?
Yeah.
Or you could take take their wages away if the server was so terrible.
Yeah.
That would be more of an incentive for people to do that. And now there's going to be people in the comments saying, you want people to be able to take money away from servers? But
no.
really what it is if you're a bad server, you're making everyone else's day worse.
Yeah. Honestly, like I said, we come here to sit down and eat. Like, that's why you go to restaurants. Like, I don't really want to cook for myself today. I'm here to have somebody else do that legwork for me. And then you get there and you get bad customer service, and it's like, I'm done. Why even come out? I should just stay at home and cook. Because that's what we were thinking when we were sitting at the restaurant the other day. I was like, we should just cook steak.
I should have unthawed some of the meat in the fridge and just...
We'd had it done in 15 minutes rather than waiting here for an additional 30 to 40 minutes. And then...
The longest wait time we would have had was me waiting on the meat to unthaw.
Yeah. So... I hate the fact that small businesses here in Owasso, I don't want them to die death by customer service. That's a bad way to go, because you have a lot of fantastic places that could go the distance and can go the distance. You just got to make sure. And I know everybody's going to come in and not have the best day, but it doesn't matter what kind of day you're having. You have to perform at work. You have to. It doesn't matter how you feel. You've got to make sure that when you're working, you're giving your best effort. And again, Batman style. It's like what Alfred said to Batman in The Dark Knight. It's like, maybe if you pretend to have fun, you'll start to actually have a little by mistake.
True. That is very true.
Do that. That's how you should. That's the mentality you should have. So now I know we really stuck a little too long on that, but that was local, and I just kind of wanted to get that off my chest because we had a long conversation about that the other day. So pushing on to national news, it seems like there is an epidemic of left-wing anarcho-communist style protesters burning themselves alive. What's his name? His name was Max Aurelio or something like that. So Max Aurelio.
Zarelia, something like that.
Yeah, I don't even know. This guy was just kind of a nut. You got the videos pulled up? Do you have a...
Hang on.
I sent the libs of TikTok stuff to you. So this fella just recently got off of house arrest, or he was not able to move around and go places, but I guess he was talking to his neighbors who he lived in this little apartment complex with, and he was like, I'm going to go up to New York to go protest. So he had printed off some flyers and went on. He believes that the left and the right are in it together, and he believes Trump and Hillary are basically interchangeable people, which is weird because there's a picture of him with Bill Clinton. So if you have that Libs of TikTok thing pulled up, you can scroll through it, and one of the pictures of
the video's going right now.
Okay.
But yeah, it's I don't know if you want I don't think I'm going to play the sound, but it's the fire incident, all the cops running over
Yes.
to him
Yeah,
right
yeah.
now.
So I love that they got it pixeled out, like we don't know there's a human behind the fire, and you can't see him even if it wasn't pixelated.
Yeah,
you just like there's
exactly
a figure there, but
on.
but they pixelate the fire kind of, which is just odd. But that just goes to show you how crazy censorship is nowadays. But it's like, yeah, you can pixelate. It's like we don't know there's a person behind the wall of flames there. But yeah, I don't know what's going on, man. This goes to show you how crazy social media manipulation is, how crazy and far indoctrinated people on the left are. I mean, why would you emulate yourself for a cause? I mean, but I guess people just have such radically different ways of viewing the world. You know, Donald Trump is being wrongfully dragged through court proceedings because the New York court systems hates the man. It's this is a politically charged trial. Now maybe other people don't see it that way. Maybe they think this is justice. This is justice, but they're this is a misdemeanor being charged as a felony. And this guy just wanted to go out there and get some recognition for his far left thoughts. You know, they have his. I mean, if you're scrolling through any of those pictures, you can
I'm
see
scrolling through the whole thing.
You can
right
see
now.
his posts on Reddit where he's like anarcho-communism, his username or something like that, and he just has some pretty wild posts, and you know, he's like start a revolution, you know, and if you're a soldier or you're somebody who understands what the cost of war is, especially these people who have lived such sheltered lives. I'm not going to say they've had easy lives. You know, I'm sure they've had to work really hard to make dirt wages and whatnot. But, you know, if you think that you want to go out there and fight and spill blood for a cause like starting a revolution, overthrowing the government, it's like, what would you overthrow it with? It's like with all these people saying that, you know, January 6th was the greatest and most terrible thing that's ever happened. Like a bunch of grandmas and, you know, guys with no shirts on were going to overthrow the government and take over. It's like, what world do you live in? What was their plan to take over the government? Like, what were they going to do? Like, was the MAGA shaman going to be anointed president or speaker of the house? Like, what was the plan? Like, there has to be a plan in order for the government to be overthrown. These were just people who were walking into the Capitol to be tourists for a day and walk around. But this guy thinks that Hillary and Donald Trump are interchangeable candidates and that they're all in it together and they're trying to well, I mean, what does he even say there? Like they're going to do a fascist takeover.
Yeah, they're both fascist and they're going to do a coup. So it basically kind of sounds like he's one of the people that believe in like the global initiative type thing.
But he believes in it in a different way that people on the right believe. So it's like all of the people on the left think that it's going to be like some type of corporate conglomerate takeover where like Fallout. Like we'll have to do a review of Fallout as well. But they view it as the Fallout people, like the super rich capitalistic companies, like the top Fortune 500 companies are going to get together, like Vault Tech and all the people that make the weapons, and they're going to go, we're going to create and sell.
Yeah, where in this
and
case,
we'll take over the country and be in charge.
Where in this case, it would be like Microsoft, Amazon, Elon Musk, stuff like that. People like that. But it's very odd because the whole premise of that show didn't make a lot of sense. But
Yeah.
You'll go back. I don't want to get obfuscated off
Yes,
on that.
but that's the way people on the left view it. They view it as a capitalist enterprise, and all these people in charge, like Elon Musk or a Bill Gates and what's the guy who runs Amazon? Jeff Bezos will all get together and they're going to overthrow the government with their massive amount of wealth, and that's what they think is going to be. But they're assuming it's going to be done through politicians. So I guess they're saying that Donald Trump's a bought and paid for politician, just like Hillary Clinton's a bought and paid for politician. So, but the fact that he thinks that he's got to set himself on fire in order to bring about this change, and I mean, what change did he bring about? I mean, unless you're in his little pseudo anarcho fascist, communist group, most people are just going to look at this like this guy's a nut job. Like the general population is going to be like, what a crazy person, what a wacko. Same with that Air Force guy. It's just like, why are you setting yourself on fire for a country 4,000 miles away that have never been to, And none of them care about you. They're laughing that you did that. It's like, we're literally winning the war against the great evil of America because they're burning themselves on our behalf. This is great. So I don't know what. I mean, this guy probably was already mentally unwell as it is, but I don't know what drives someone to think that this is the best course of action. You know, I mean, if you see his thing, he's singing a song, "Start an effing revolution, start an effing revolution. You've got nothing to lose." Like, you're just like, you have a lot to lose. Now, maybe this fella doesn't because he's clearly got no family, no real close friends to speak of. I mean, his neighbors seemed pretty perturbed that he did it, but, you know, I don't know how close he would consider them as friends.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. It's just wild, wild, wild. You know, but that's the difference between the right and the left. The left, they don't have anything to lose. They typically don't have kids. They're willing to go out and protest and waste time, money, and effort in things that they do. Is where the right, it's like, I have a job. I'm a productive member of society. I have family obligations. So the right will sell their souls to take care of their families, is where the left will
Burn themselves.
foolishly
Yeah.
burn themselves and waste their lives accomplishing nothing. So like I said, so people on the right will sell their souls to feed their families and keep the roof over their head, is where the left will burn themselves alive for virtually nothing. But again, this is why people like Tim Pool say the future is conservative, because the left doesn't have kids, they have yours. So they have to indoctrinate and bring them in, bring your children into the fold. Is where the right, it's like, we work, we go out and we build society and we keep society functioning, as where people on the left are like, society's broken, we have to destroy it and build it over from the ground up. And it's like, no, you don't want that. We already have the infrastructure in place. We already have everything ready to go. We just need to make sure we elect morally outstanding people to get into office. But again, we also disagree about how that goes, because the left is like, give government as much power as possible, as we're like, no, we should limit the power, as much power that we give to government as possible, and allow ourselves to embolden ourselves and be the masters of our own destinies. Is where they just want to make sure everything, like I said, equal outcomes. They're equity warriors. We are equality warriors.
Mm-hmm.
That's the difference between the right and the left. Left, equal outcomes. Right, equal opportunities. That's basically what it boils down to.
Yeah. That is 100% true. And then also getting back to they have your kids, is like the left also advocates for transgenderism, abortion, which is all, and the world's overpopulated. The world overpopulation is leading to global warming. So everything that they have is about limiting the number of people on the planet, whereas conservatives is more along the lines of
go forth and multiply.
We go forth and multiply. And it's just very, very different. It's like we're exact opposites. It's very weird.
Yes, it is. Again, another difference would be, you know, conservatives would believe the government's job is to protect you from outside threats, and the left is the government's job is to serve you.
Mm-hmm. It's the government's job to do everything for you, pretty much.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So those are the major differences between the political ideologies. But yeah, I don't know what's going on as far as I think, to me, it's social media manipulations and algorithmic manipulations of people weaponizing the most radical in our society to do the craziest things, where if they just got a little bit of logical and sense from like the other side, being like, no, this is really what it's like, they wouldn't have to worry about throwing themselves on the blade, metaphorically, to, I guess not even so metaphorically, setting themselves ablaze to bring about radical change in society, which I don't think this poor man's death is going to change much of anything, other than just be like, they're probably going to ban lighters and matches in public and be like, the public's too dumb to carry lighters and matches anymore.
Yeah, the whole gun argument of guns kill people.
Matches kill
matches
people
kill
now.
people. Knives kill people. Does a fork make you fat? Type
Yeah.
argument.
Yeah. So that's where we're at, folks. Another crazy left-wing lunatic burns himself alive, and I believe he passed away the other day. Like, he was in critical condition for the past couple of days because this happened Friday, and he finally passed away. So.
Mm-hmm. That's really about it on that topic.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Well, I think that's where we'll wrap it up today. Hopefully we'll have more cheery things to talk about tomorrow. Maybe we'll do some reviews of Fallout and talk about some Larry Elder and some crazy trans stuff going on in the classroom. But that's about all I've got for you today. I hope everyone has a fantastic day. This has been the Twins with Owasso Live, and this was the Morning Loop. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe so you too can stay in the loop. God bless y'all.
See you later, everybody.